Hi guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck, and oi gewalt with the shanda on the punam and the kepala. I'm just throwing out random Yiddish words that my grandma used to say. She would say, Jeffala, oh, let me squeeze your punam. Anyway, today we're going to make a Jewish-inspired style Asian rice dish. I know, right? I'm gonna make something that I've just concocted called Jewish Deli Fried Rice. And what it's gonna be really is like a pastrami omelet mixed in with a jasmine rice and then topped off with this glorious, glorious marinade you'll have seen in some markets, and I'll share it with you later in the video, but you'll see for yourselves. It's gonna be very unique, very different, and very, very tasty. So even though us Jews can be loaded with guilt sometimes, there's none of that today, because we're gonna be shimmying it up in the kitchen and making some fantastic Jewish deli fried rice. Alright, I want to take 2 cups of jasmine rice here, and now I want to rinse this. This is super important for about 90 seconds under some cold water. And I want to make sure that all the water goes from looking cloudy, you see that it's like a cloudy color right now, to a nice clear one. And this is going to take, again, about 90 seconds. Every so often, give it a flip. Make sure all of it gets nice and rinsed. If you don't rinse this and you skip this step, guys, you're gonna have some really sticky, mushy rice. And you'll see the water as it passes through the rice in the strainer is really cloudy. We wanna get this going for 90 seconds until the water coming through is nice and clear. You see that? It looks nice and clear now. That's how we know the rice is nice and rinsed and ready to go. All right, I'm gonna take my rinsed rice and add it to the Instant Pot, along with 2 cups of water, just your basic tap water. I'll just swirl that around in the pot a bit. And you see how it's not cloudy, the water, it's nice and clear? That goes to show you that we rinsed it perfectly. Now I'm gonna secure my lid, make sure that I'm in the sealing position. So I'm gonna come down on my control panel and I'm gonna hit the pressure cook button here. I'm on the Duo Evo Plus, so I'm gonna select custom. And now I wanna go for 3 minutes at high pressure. That's it, guys. After you've chosen your settings, make sure you hit the start button on the Duo Evo Plus, the Ultra, or the Duo Crisp. And any other model, once you set your time, wait a few seconds and it'll start from there. Now that we're done pressure cooking, we're going to allow a 10-minute natural release, meaning we do nothing for 10 minutes. And now this is going to start to count up. So once this reads 10, that means 10 minutes of elapse of natural releasing, and we are then going to finish with a quick release. All right, so while our rice is cooking, I'm going to prep some veggies. I want to take 1 large Spanish onion, or you can use a yellow onion, nice and diced up into like coarse pieces like this. And then I'll take a bunch of scallions, and I slice them up nice and good, and I just add them to the onions, and you can also reserve a few for garnish at the end if you wish. Now I want to focus on what makes this super Jewish, our pastrami. I'm gonna take about 1 pound of pastrami from the deli that I just had them sliced for me, and now I'm just gonna slice this up into some coarsely dicey pieces. So it looks just like this. That will be just fine. Moving on. So this wouldn't be a Jewish deli fried rice if it didn't have some eggs in it. And folks, I am adding in an entire carton, that's 12 large eggs. Nice and cracked into the bowl. And because I want these eggs fluffy, I'm gonna add in 3/4 of a cup of milk. And I'd go with milk over cream because I don't want the eggs to be super thick. And now I'm just gonna beat these together inside the bowl. You can use a fork, you could use a whisk, you can use whatever. Okay, and once our eggs are nice and beaten along with the milk, we'll set that aside. And now that 10 minutes of a natural release have passed, we're gonna finish it with a quick release. And that release is going to happen really fast. You'll see as the pin just dropped after a few moments. I'm going to now take my lid off. And now I'm going to turn my pot off by hitting the cancel button. And there's my rice, guys, looking totally perfect. I'm going to take a fork and just fluff it up a little bit here. Look at that. Fantastic. And now I'm just going to transfer all of my rice to a bowl, and we're going to set that aside. Look at how steamy. Okay, and there is all my rice in a bowl. There's our pot. There's no need to rinse it. We're going to go right back to it and continue our process here. Or you can rinse the liner pot out and then return it to the pot. Just make sure you dry it because we're about to add oil. Okay, now I want to take in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and add it to the pot. Now let's hit the saute button because I want to give this pot some heat and cook everything up in there. And for the temperature, I'm going to go at high right here, all right? And then just hit start again. Let's get this pot heated up. And after about 3 minutes of our oil heating up in the pot, I'm going to add in my onions and scallions. And I'm gonna let this saute for about 5 minutes. And don't worry about anything being stuck onto the bottom of the pot. We're not pressure cooking again. There's nothing to worry about in terms of burns. All right, guys, and now I wanna add in our pastrami. And saute that with the onion and scallion for about another 2 to 3 minutes. All right, and after about 2 to 3 minutes of sauteing our pastrami in the pot, we're now going to add in 2 tablespoons or 1/4 of a stick of salted butter. Stir that around in the pot until it melts, which won't take long. Now you notice I didn't call this Jewish kosher deli because there's dairy in here, but you can leave the butter out if you want. I just think it's better to add it. Okay, and we're looking great. And now it is time to add in our eggs. Just add it right to the pot. Now as soon as we add our egg to the pot, we want to just start to kind of stir it around. It's going to cook relatively quickly. We want to basically have a nice scrambled egg form. Just keep going in a swirling motion constantly. And again, if the bottom of the pot feels a little bit burnt from what's been cooking in there, don't worry about it. You just clean it afterwards. The stainless steel pots clean beautifully in the dishwasher, in the sink, so long as you're not pressure cooking when there's stuff stuck on the bottom. Now is this kind of going to be like a pastrami omelet mixed into rice, which is going to make it amazing Jewish fried rice, but you'll see there's a finishing touch I'm going to add that's going to set it apart from anything else. All in all, the stirring of the eggs until they're done, it's going to take about another 3 to 5 minutes. And once our eggs is looking like this, nice and crumbled up and cooked with all of our pastrami and our onions, we're going to now add our rice back into the pot. Alright, now let's add our rice back into the mix here. And now I'm going to turn my pot off by hitting the cancel button. And I'm just gonna break my rice up a little bit once I add it in with like a wooden spatula or whatever. And now guys, the thing to really set this over the top and make it a true Jewish deli fried rice is by using this thing called soy vey. Can you believe it? Soy gewalt! This is basically, it's so cute. This is basically like a Jewish Asian inspired soy sauce with a teriyaki flavor. There are different kinds of flavors. You can use whichever one you want. I like to use the teriyaki with less sodium if it's available. And I'm gonna add in 3/4 of a cup. You can just add in some teriyaki sauce instead if you like, but guys, soy vey, it's too perfect to not add in. Alright, there we go. And now let's stir everything up in the pot until everything becomes nice and combined in here. Now a final optional touch you can do to add to this, which I love, but some of you might not be into, is going to be some Russian dressing, guys. I'm going to add in 1/3 of a cup, or you could add in less or more. I like 1/3 of a cup. Just make sure your Russian dressing is like this color and not like that darker red color. That's not Russian dressing. This is Russian dressing, or you can use Thousand Island. Ken's Steakhouse, by the way, is the best store-bought brand of Russian dressing you can find, in my opinion. And I'll mix that in with everything else. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And now guys, we are ready to serve. Look at this. I mean, this is enough to make a Jewish mother kavel. You know what kavel means? It sounds like Carvel, like the ice cream place. And they're basically the same thing, because Carvel is like happy and how amazing the ice cream is. And kavel means you're so happy. You're gonna plot, so you're gonna bust with excitement and joy and pride. And I'll just try it, okay? Let's put it in some bowls. And if you want to top a few extra scallions on top, like I said before, if you want to risk to reserve some, by all means feel free to. Now it's time to dig in. And here it is, guys. Let's go. That is something that is very, very unique, very, very different, and very, very awesome. Oh, wow. It's like a Jewish pastrami style omelet meeting an Asian style fried rice. Oh, that soy vey sauce to top everything off and bring it all together. Oh, I gotta give myself a mazel tov for this one, y'all. This is incredibly addicting. This is addicting Jewish style fried rice. And if you guys want more of like the sauce, feel free to add more. I think 3/4 of a cup is a great amount, but if you want a cup or a cup and a quarter, add more. It's up to you. But I think this is absolutely amazing. I love the way that everything comes together in a very unique fashion. Just make sure you use soy vey or a teriyaki sauce. Don't use soy sauce. It'll be way too salty if you do that. But guys, this thing is as good as a bar mitzvah smorgasbord as far as I'm concerned. People are gonna lift you up on a chair and throw you in the air if you make this for them. It's not good. I could easily eat this entire pot of rice, and you're gonna get a bunch of servings out of this, at least 4 to 6. At 6, I would say more than 4. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, check out PressureLoveCooking.com because all of my written recipes are there. Just scroll to the bottom of each entry and you'll see the written recipe. You can print them in any browser other than Facebook, and you can search for anything there. Very well cataloged and organized. Check out Facebook.com/PressureLoveCooking and like that page for any time a new recipe drops, tips and items, humor, a bunch of this guy right here, whatever you want. I go live often and take your questions and sometimes even bring you on live with me. Check that out. And of course, subscribe to me on YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Thanks again, guys. And like a nice Jewish boy next door, this fried rice is so nice, you won't even think twice if you have to make it thrice. Thank you again for watching. Enjoy.